hallowed ground because more than 100 years ago, this building was erected to edify the young brothers and sisters in this community.
That's right, Paul.
We stand on hallowed ground because teachers like Ms. Doris Bronson,
Yes.
like Mr. Plummer,
Mr. Plummer.
a principal like Dr. Lorraine Monroe.
Right.
Talk about it.
These sisters and brothers, these educators, they embraced the young brothers and sisters in this community. They nurtured them. They encouraged them. They inspired them. And they left a legacy.
Right.
A legacy of love and caring. And indeed, they're educators and teachers in this building
Come on.
who embrace that legacy, who love the young brothers and sisters in this community.
Right.
I see Miss Pates.
Yes.
Here's a sister, a lady, a grande dame, if you will, who shared her love to enrich the brothers and sisters in the village of Wadleigh. But there's a sacrilege in the land.
That's right.
And this sacrilege seeks to move a charter school into this building.
That's what it's about.
And this sacrilege will mean the death knell of those brothers and sisters, those programs, the arts programs in this school.
Come on.
There's a sacrilege in the land. This sacrilege will mean the casting out of our children.
Right.
There's a sacrilege in the land. We stand here to shout out and to shout down that sacrilege.
Come on.
I've worked in this building for most of my adult life, and I bear witness to that sacrilege. So we're here to say in no uncertain terms that this sacrilege, this abomination will not go forward.
Come on.
There's a sacrilege in the land. And we thank all of you for being here this evening. We'd like you to get a sense of those young brothers and sisters that will be cast out if this sacrilege is allowed to move forward. So we're going to open up this moment as we stand on this hallowed ground with four sisters who will come forward and share a poem by Langston Hughes.
The night is beautiful. So the faces of my people. The stars are beautiful. So the eyes of my people. Beautiful also is the sun. Beautiful also is the souls of my people.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Bravo!
As we shout out and shout down this sacrilege, we're going to ask our elected officials to be acknowledged, and they in turn will have a chance to shout out and shout down this sacrilege. Martin Luther King said that true peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. So we stand here to speak of justice. We're going to start with Mr. Liu because it's my understanding that he has to leave.
John?
And before Mr. Liu speaks, I just have to say that every time that the village of Wadleigh has asked him to come and share of himself, he's always been there. And for that, I want to publicly say, we thank you. It gives us great pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mack. And I am here delighted to join Senator Perkins and Assemblymember Rodriguez and so many community leaders. I know we're here with the NAACP, we're here with church members, we're here with the overall Wadleigh family, the Wadleigh community. A community that stands strong in face of these seemingly unnecessary difficulties. Wadleigh being a school that has carried on a long tradition of both excellence and diligence. And yet in the last couple of years, a school that has suffered significant decreases in the amount of resources being given to this school. That's right. And now, the DOE has somehow put these numbers together after they decimated the resources for this school to now justify a conclusion that perhaps they had in mind all along.
Talk about it.
And they are now saying that, well, this isn't the only school that they want to reduce or close. That they want to bring in other choices. Well, you know what? The community has had a very strong choice in Wadleigh for a long time now.
Right. Over 100 years.
Right. And to the extent that Wadleigh needs more help, or at least hands off from the DOE in terms of these continuing cuts, the DOE should be looking to see what it can do to help bolster what Wadleigh had for a long time been able to achieve already. And that is to provide an excellent education for our kids. I've seen firsthand on numerous occasions what this school, what the students, both high school and middle school students, are able to achieve. These students here are serious about their education, about their future, and about our collective future. And we should give them a chance. And the DOE closing all these schools left and right, then replacing them with new schools, so-called new schools, that don't actually have any space associated with these so-called new schools, shuffling kids around, not paying attention or giving respect to long legacies. It's just not, and it doesn't serve to improve education for our kids in this school. So we're here, I stand with Senator Perkins and Assemblymember Rodriguez and our CEC member Noah Gottbaum, Mr. Mack, our acclaimed librarian, and the entire Wadleigh community. And District Leader Cordell Claire and District Leader Keith Lilly, and all of these community leaders to say that we need the resources. Don't play games with our kids' future. Don't play games with our kids' future.
No more games!
No more games. 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 No more games.
No more games.
The brother The brother who's about to grace you with his words is a priest. I call him the priest of the Babalawo in the village of Wadleigh. I describe Senator Perkins in this way because from the time that I came into this school, his voice has been clear, supportive, strong, uncompromising. And so I am humbled to ask him to come forward and to grace you this evening. The priest in the village of Wadleigh, Senator Bill Perkins.
First acknowledging Pastor Warren. There we go. So that it's clear that it's mainly a metaphorical term. But you know, I'm not going to be long with it. I'm going to be brief, but I do want to do a few quick things. These children
yes.
are our children. Yes. These children are our children. Yes. I didn't hear you.
These children are our children. These children are our children.
I want to be clear about that. I want us to be very clear about that. Number two, some of you may not remember Veronica Perry. Amen. Some of you may not remember Veronica Perry. Yes. But you may remember this is not the first time we've been here. Before this time, there was another time. And at that time, the mayor was not Bloomberg, but it was Ed Koch. And at that time, Veronica Perry was our leader on the local community school board. And she was valiant in her efforts to represent this school and to represent this district in the face of great challenges. And at that time, it was decided that this school would be closed, that these children would be denied the opportunity to have an education in their neighborhood at this school because they had somebody else in mind. At that time, it was rumored that they wanted this school to be condominiums. Okay? Some of you may remember several other schools had been turned into condominiums. And at that time, the people in this community, under the leadership of Veronica Perry, decided that this school would not be closed. And as a result of the unity of this community, it was determined that this was our school. And these were our children. Whose school?
Our school.
Whose school?
Our school.
Whose children?
Our children.
Whose children?
Our children.
And as a result of not just that idea, but in fact the result of folks making the decision that under no circumstances would they allow this school to be closed, it was renovated into a state-of-the-art building with several additional programs, including an arts program, a culinary arts program, and it became a school that was in great demand. That happened because this community decided that it was our school and that it was our children that deserved a first-rate education in their neighborhood. We got to do it again. We have to do it again because they want this school, this state-of-the-art school, in which much money has been invested for our children, for their education, to be, let's be honest, a charter school. You know that's what's happening. And they will evict us if we allow it to happen.
No way.
So I want us to remember, in no uncertain terms, that this is our school. People fought, they paid the rent with their struggle to make this our school. Now, I know downtown they got a thing called Occupy Wall Street. Wall Street sounds like Wadleigh. It's funny how those Wall Street and Wadleigh sound so much alike. But we are the 99%. Our children are the 99%. And we've got to make sure that our children are the 99%. And we have to make sure that this is like our Alamo. That this is our last stand, because if they get Wadleigh, then what's next? So there are many other schools in this neighborhood that are subject to suffering the same consequence if we allow it to happen here.
Hands off Wadleigh!
So hands off Wadleigh!
Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh! Hands off Wadleigh!
Let me just conclude by acknowledging two things. Number one, our Assemblyman Keith Wright is here. Councilwoman Inez Dickens' office is represented here as well. Again, one more time, whose school?
Our school!
Whose school?
Our school!
Thank you very much.
All right.